Tonight's video is about physical and chemical properties. This is the first video that you guys will watch as part of the video series that we're going to use for Integrated Science 1B. Again, remember, it's important that you watch the videos, take good notes on them. If there's additional assignments to go with it, please complete them. This will help us in our discussions in class and also allow us more time to spend in the lab. My objectives for you tonight are that you can explain what a physical property is, you can explain what a chemical property is, and that you can identify physical and chemical properties for a material. We're going to start with physical properties. Physical properties are any property that can be measured or observed without changing the material. Some examples of this include the measurement of a temperature for an item, such as measuring the temperature in the oven. It doesn't change the inside of the oven when you measure the temperature. Finding the mass of something, so in the morning if you weigh yourself, finding your mass doesn't change who you are. Okay. Observing the color of something or the shape or how it smells does not change it. Measuring a melting or boiling point. So for example, we can look at the melting point of gold. When you heat up gold to a high enough temperature and melt it into a liquid, it's still gold. It's just changed in its state of matter, and we now know what its melting or boiling point is. And then my final example for you is the conduction of electricity. So the copper wire that's in your house, by running an electrical current through it, does not change the copper wire itself. Okay, it's still copper. There are additional examples of physical properties. Just remember that a physical property is any property that can be measured or observed without changing it. Chemical properties, on the other hand, are how something either reacts or does not react. Okay, and this, if it does react, it is going to change the properties of whatever you're looking at. So for example, on the next slide I'm going to show you the reaction between sodium and water. And you'll see that sodium, when placed in water, is rather explosive. And we talked about this the other day. So that would be a chemical property of sodium. It reacts with it. On the other hand, the reaction of oxygen with water, you don't have any chemical reaction. Okay, so this would be an example of something how oxygen doesn't react and how water doesn't react. Additionally, if you're in the shop, the fact that iron rusts in the presence of oxygen and water, that's a chemical property. That tells how it reacts. My final part of information for you tonight is that you have an assignment to go with this. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go home and I'd like you to write down 2 examples of physical property in your house and an example of a chemical property. You will need these for class tomorrow. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks.